I've been asked many times why I sing, because it's the why that defines us. It's how we carry on. It's how we tell the world. Music paints life's pictures and is a window into the soul. It grows us. It's medicine to the wounded. It proclaims who we are and states who our God is. It can build us up and give us rest. A song is an overflow of the heart. It's showing you have thankfulness and wisdom of what Jesus has done for us. I'm Heather Smith, and this is Why I Sing.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of This Is Why I Sing. And I thought last week was really cool to get to video out here on one of our dry creeks, but we've had a couple of rattlesnake encounters, so sorry. You're not a fan, you will become one if you have an encounter with a rattlesnake. Let me tell you. So, Kimber is not my sponsor, but I love your guns, so hey, I'm going to wear it anyway. So this week I want to talk to you about my song, Until I See You Again. This is a song that I both wrote and put on my first album, A Brand New Start. And the story behind this song was really about where I was at in my faith walk, in service, and my calling in life. I was still dragging my feet about being a singer. I wanted to be a songwriter. I wanted to do something for Jesus, and I had some songs, but I was still thinking that maybe I could pitch these to somebody else, get somebody else to sing them, then I could stay at home and do whatever I wanted to do. There were so many open doors and so much confirmation that I needed to be the one singing them that I said, you know what, if this is what you want, God, then, I will let you lead me. And the first thing he did was sent me to Nashville. I was like, really? But it ain't Texas, let me tell you that. Tennessee is fun, but it's not Texas. So we were out in Nashville. We got invited to go to, it was kind of a talent competition out in Cartersville, Georgia. And I was, like I said, I didn't want to have anything to do with the artist side of music. I wanted to be the songwriter and just give it to somebody else and let them do it. And when I got invited to do this, I was like, that's not really my thing. And the people kept telling me, oh, there's going to be these living legends there, and there's going to be all these people that you're going to want to ask questions and pick their minds and get to mentor underneath them. I was like, well, I'm into that. I mean, if this is where God is pushing me into, then I need all the help I can get. So it was quite fun. I had never sang into a mic before, and I had never sang with monitors. And so when I went up during my part in the show performance part of it, it was the first time I'd ever heard my voice come back through the monitors, and I was so in shock that I was like, is that my voice? Really? Is that what I sound like? Wow, that's different. Well, later found out my music was off and my guitar wasn't on, and then it blared me out all of a sudden, and then it was like, really, I did bad. But it was a good thing because I learned a ton from going out there, and it was really a good thing. I mean, it gave me a lot of life experience in the realm of songwriting and singing, and well, more singing probably than songwriting, but it gave me experience, and that's what I was needing. But while I was out there, it almost did not happen because I got a call from back home. One of my best friends was living in Carlsbad, New Mexico, and she was a jailer. She was in the youth side of the jail. She dealt with juveniles. And this best friend of mine had got me into breeding horses and helped me further in training horses. And we did everything horse we did. We loved everything horse. We did it all. She was my maid of honor in my wedding. She got my horse ready and my husband's horse ready, and she led my horse into our wedding because I was riding side saddle in a western saddle with a silk skirt on, and we had practiced for 2 weeks at this, but we did not practice wearing a silk dress. So I was like, oh, we got this. And then about the time we got me ready to come down the hill, because we're going downhill to the chapel, I was like, hey, Linda, we forgot to practice with a silk shirt. And she's like, stay on, don't give him a show. I think at one point I was like, hold her head up, Luke. We had so much fun together. We just, everything, country, ranching, loved it. But I got a call right about the time I got to Cartersville, Georgia, and I think it was her son. And he said, look, Mom went down at work today. They couldn't get her to wake up. She's unconscious. They care flew her to Lubbock, Texas, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's gonna. We have no idea. She's like in a coma type state. We can't get her out of it. I don't know what's going on. And I said, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm in Cartersville, Georgia. I don't know what to do. And I hung up the phone and I just started praying, like, God, I need to like run down there. I need to run to her side. And I don't know. I mean, can I even make it there if she's gonna pass away? And I just all of a sudden had this amazing, unexplainable peace. And I just felt like, you know what, it's okay. And I could almost hear a voice, and it could be nobody else besides God, telling me, you need to be faithful to me, and I'll be faithful to you. I've asked you to come here to learn and do something. And when you're finished, then you can go. And I was just so at peace by the whole experience that I said, okay, God, you know, you've got it. Whatever's going to happen, you've got it, God. And I'm okay with whatever your will is. So I had my interesting experience in Cartersville, Georgia. And when it was over, we called them back up, my best friend's son, and said, is she doing all right? They said, well, she's kind of coming out of it. And they've been running tests. She's okay now, I would say, but she's not out of the woods. I said, okay. So we packed up our stuff, threw it in the truck. We started heading back to our hometown, Snyder. And as I was getting in, I think we were getting close to getting into Texas, and everybody knows that takes a day to drive across the state of Texas. As I'm getting into Texas, we get a call, and they say, okay, we figured it out. It's cancer, and it's throughout her entire body, and there's nothing they can do about it. We're going to try to do some stuff, but he said it's not looking very good because it's in her entire body. And so I said, okay, and I was confused because I was kind of like, well, God, you said, you know, everything. I almost kind of took it as I thought you meant everything was going to be okay. And I felt this peace, like, it's okay, you got this. So I'm kind of uneasy, like, what's going on? So we got home late that night and called one more time and said, you know what, she's in ICU, she's resting, but I think she's going to make it. So get you a good night rest. You've been driving all the way from Georgia. So it's okay. Just take the time and rest tonight. Come see her in the morning. I said, okay. So that night, like, my imagination started going wild, and I was thinking, oh, maybe, you know, God wants me to do something amazing, like take my guitar with me and go see her in the hospital and sing to her, and like all these people are going to hear these Christian songs around us, and it's going to be like this big saving moment, and, you know, just my mind raced 100 different ways of what could happen. Well, that morning, before our alarm clocks could go off, we got a call that she had passed away in the night. And by this time, I was dumbfounded, like, what just happened, God? Like, I thought you gave me peace, like everything's going to be okay. And once again, I felt that great, amazing peace. It's okay. She knows me. I'm her savior, and she's with me up in heaven. It's okay. And for once in my life, rather than be mad, like, I just did this for you, God. Why didn't you do this for me? Why? I did all this. Why didn't you give this back? For once in my life, I just felt complete peace. Like, it's okay, God. It's your plan. your will. I know where she is. You've got this. Everything's okay. And I was at peace about the whole situation. It was like on a Thursday or a Friday, sometime close to the weekend. The weekend was coming. Her son called and said they were preparing for her funeral. Would we come to Carlsbad and help go through, look at her house and kind of look through some of her stuff and be with him during the funeral? So we said, of course, and we want to pay our respects. So we drove to Carlsbad, and Saturday evening, God started putting a song on my heart for my friend. And if you can pull the air brakes on something in life, proverbial Mack truck coming to a screeching halt in the middle of the road, I tried to do that night. When God started pouring upon me the song, I was like, I'm done. No, you just asked too much, God. I am not writing a song for my best friend. That is asking too much. That is too hard. And what was so funny about it is all night long and the next morning, I was totally out of it. I walked to the fridge like, what am I doing here? I was headed to the bathroom. Or I'd walk into the garage like, I was headed to the bedroom. Why am I in the garage? I mean, I couldn't function. So finally, Sunday night, I was like, you know what, God? Fine. I'll write it, but that's it. That's as far as I'm going. So I wrote this song. I'm writing this song out in bed so that I can start functioning again. And my husband looks at me and says, oh, cool, you're writing a song. I'm like, yes, I'm writing a song. He's like, whoa, this one must be a little hard for you. I'm like, yes, it's very hard for me. So he's like, well, what is it? And I sing it for him, and he goes, wow, that's really awesome. You should sing that for her son. And I'm like, no. I drew the line with God. I said I was going to write it, and that was it. That's all I was doing. So the next morning, right before the funeral, I don't know, maybe an hour or 2 hours before the funeral, we're at my best friend's son's house, and my husband's like, hey, my wife wrote a song for your mom last night. And he's like, really? I'm like, and he's like, yeah, you got to hear it. So he goes, her son, I mean, he is cool. He is country. He is tough guy, but sweet. He's so awesome. And so for this man, amazing man to me, looks at me with these big old sad eyes and is like, will you please play that for me? I was like, oh, okay, I'll play it for you, but that's it. That's as far as I'm going. So I play him the song, and halfway through the song, he takes his glasses off his hat and puts them on. And I realize like something internal's going on here, and he doesn't want to see it. And I see it through his sunglasses. The tears are streaming down, and I'm like, this is hard, God. Why are you asking me to do this? It's hard. And he looks at me with these big old crocodile tear eyes underneath his glasses, his cool man facade. And he goes, will you play that for my mom today at her funeral? And I was like, I drew the line with God, man. He's like, please. I said, okay, I'll play it for your mom today at her funeral. So I walk in, and like I said, my friend was not just an amazing person. She was an amazing Christian. She was this kind, beautiful soul, wonderful person. She walked into a room and she made people smile like, oh, she is wonderful. And so when I'm not thinking about this as I'm headed for a funeral, and I've got my guitar and I've got my paper with this song wrote out, and I walk in and I realize this place is packed. This funeral home is wall to wall people, and I'm like, ugh, that's a lot of people here. So I walk in, and it was quite funny too. I'm like, this is my friend. Even she's passed on, she's in heaven, but she's still creating fun down here on earth. The pastor that would have been in place to do her funeral had gotten very sick and had not been preaching, had not been at church. He had his own struggle with death all at his door for a while. So his son took over for him, and so this was his first time actually doing a funeral. It was his first funeral. And he's, you can tell he's a little bit nervous, and, this is a packed funeral, and he's like, man, for my first time, there's a lot of people. I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. At least you don't have to stay and pitch. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm going to sing a song for her today. He goes, you're going to sing a song? I didn't know you sang. I was like, I do now. And he's like, so you wrote a song? I said, yeah, I wrote a song. And he looks at my husband, and it was so cool because my husband goes, it's okay. She does this all the time. And you could tell he's clearly like, oh man, my first funeral, and somebody I don't even know if they can sing is singing a song. I don't even know if they could write. And it was so much fun. I remember walking up there thinking, man, Linda, you're still having fun with all of us. You're still throwing us curveballs. So I stand up. When it comes my time, I stand up and I walk up to this little podium. I got my song and I've got my guitar, and I start singing. And the whole place just went absolutely quiet. I mean, it's quiet anyway, but you can hear sniffling and kids rustling and, people, it's 3 people deep standing all the way around the room. So they're kind of trying to vie for room. You can hear motion. And whenever I started singing, it went quiet. And I thought, is it that bad? Is something wrong? Come on. The preacher's son's nervous, but come on. And I realized about the time I hit the first chorus that everybody was listening and listening intently, and that's why they were quiet. And I thought, what? That's kind of interesting. Like, I wasn't sure. I've never had this many people's attention at once. I'm not really sure how to feel about this. And by the time I was done singing the first chorus, I heard it. Every person in there was tearing up. People were crying. There is jailers and all kinds of people in here, tough people, and I can hear the emotion coming out of them. And it hit me. Right in the middle of trying to sing and think about what I'm doing and the words I'm singing, it hit me. God came down, or was always around me. He just started speaking all of a sudden. Whatever it was, just was like, this is what I promised. If you are faithful to me, I'll be faithful to you. You'll walk beside me and do what I'm asking you to do, then I will bless you. And this is the blessings that you will see. You're going to get to see me work. You're going to get to watch me work in everybody's lives. You're going to get to walk side by side with me, just like the disciples did. And you're going to get to watch me work in people's lives. Okay, God. High five. I'm with you. You got me. And when I walked out of that funeral, it was just one person after another. As I was outside, I had paid my respects, and I was outside, and here people started coming. That song was special. That song was anointed. That song was beautiful. That was Linda. That was amazing. That's what Linda was about. That's what she... And I began to realize, I'm like, this ain't at all about me. It's not about whether I'm comfortable. It's not whether about anything is good or great, or how great the song is, how great the singing is, how great the guitar is, all the pieces that make up what we think a song is great. No, it's the fact that it's not even about the song. It's not particularly about the music. It's about the fact that I'm walking with Jesus and doing what he told me to. He asked me to go sing unto him a new song. And I'm singing, and I'm singing a new song, and I'm singing it unto him, and then I'm watching him work. It was the coolest thing. And it's still, every time when I think, why am I doing this? Why am I trying so hard just to get somebody to listen to me and listen to what I'm trying to tell them and trying to follow Jesus? I look back at that moment whenever I first realized it's a blessing. I have the option to walk unblessed through life. I can do what I want to do, which is, great. Maybe it might get pleasure, money, or fame, or whatever it is, just getting this, for me, getting to just sit out on the ranch and enjoy God's beauty. I mean, that's not bad. Just wanting to enjoy what God's made and steward it. But there's better. The fact that there's better, that I could walk a blessed life and walk side by side with Jesus, which brings a peace that is unexplainable, unsurpassable, and unbelievable in this life, especially with everything that's going on. I can walk in peace and go, I'm good. I'm good, God, because you're good. You made me good because you're good. And I'm just basking in the goodness. It's just all good. So I realized through this song, it's a sad song about losing a friend, but through this song, it is a hope song, a song of hope, of it's okay. I'm at peace because I'm going to see you again. It's all because of Jesus. So, Linda, once again, here's your song, Until I See You Again.
Summer nights, sitting in chairs on your front porch under twinkling Christmas lights. And I'll never forget twin foals born on February mornings. It's what you didn't say that left me without warning. If I'd only known your struggles, I'd have done much more than pray. I should have called you on the phone. We had so much more to say, and you were dealing with some battles I didn't see until the end. Now the hardest part's not saying goodbye. It's how long until I see you again. Stir up to stir up, sharing all our cowgirl stories, riding down by the river where we left behind life's worries. But the greatest thing we shared was where we'd meet up in heaven at God's stables with a white horse or in a golden round pen. If I'd only known your struggles, I'd have done much more than pray. I should have called you on the phone. We had so much more to say, and you were dealing with some battles I didn't see until the end. Now the hardest part's not saying goodbye. It's how long until I see you again. If I'd only known your struggles, I'd have done much more than pray. I should have called you on the phone. We had so much more to say, and you were dealing with some battles I didn't see until the end. Now the hardest part's not saying goodbye. It's how long until I see you again. Now the hardest part's not saying goodbye. It's how long until I see you again. Look what the light